Hello, vinyl community. This is Graham coming to you with something a little bit different. It's mainly a concert review that I went to last night, Pizza Express, Soho in London, UK. And it's a very well known British bass player called Mo Foster. This is the double CD that was available at the concert, and it's called Mo Foster and Friends in Concert. And we got about 80% of the CD. Mo Foster is a UK based session bass player, band leader in the mainly jazz and rock field. This is a mixture really of jazz, some bebop, a lot of jazz standards. Gil Evans, the Miles Davis arranger, features in a lot of, doesn't feature, but is the arranger for a lot of the pieces on here. He also has Nick France on drums, and he has Ray Russell on guitar. And in fact, Mo Foster and Ray Russell work together a lot as session musicians with people like Elton John, the Rockets record label. And he also played with people like Jeff Beck. And he has loads of other projects that he's involved in. One of them I'm going to show, and one of the slightly more unusual albums that he's played on. Rock solid bass player, nothing particularly techno flashy, but it was a great gig. 2 50-minute sets. Got a chance to talk to him. I suppose the one thing was just a little bit disappointed with was that he didn't play a piece by Jaco Pastorius called Three Views of a Secret, which is also on a Weather Report album. He just didn't have time. He basically said he couldn't fit it into the set, but it's a beautiful piece. It's on here, on the first disc. Show you the discs here. I'm playing one at the moment, hence the one of the discs not been there. So there's Freedom Jazz Dance, which is a pretty well-known standard by Eddie Harris. A lot of Gil Evans pieces. Mike Gibbs, another well-known jazz arranger. Footprints by Wayne Shorter. Something from Sketches of Spain as well by Miles Davis, and some original compositions. So really recommend this. Great album. And that was Mo Foster and Friends in Concert in London last night. The main reason I've been to see him, and I'd never seen him before, was the first time I heard him was on this album, which is by Judy Zook, who is a UK-based sort of singer-songwriter. This album was released in 1979 and had a huge hit single, Stay With Me Till Dawn, a beautiful ballad. It's an excellent album, very, very strong vocally, but also the backup band is terrific. Mo Foster's on bass on a lot of this, and another of my musical heroes, Simon Phillips, turns up on drums on one track, and Phillips and Mo Foster often paired together, particularly with Jeff Beck. So it's interesting how these relationships were often formed years and years ago from sessions. So this is a great album, 1979, Judy Zook, on the Rocket label, so part of the Elton John stable, if you like. And of course, a lot of the people that played on this also would have played with Elton John. So that's Judy Zook, welcome to the cruise. I also recently picked up this. It's quite a rare album. This is called RMS Centennial Park, and this is jazz fusion, led really by Mo Foster. It's on the very distinctive MMC label. And this is basically, see Mo Foster there, Simon Phillips and Ray Russell, who was at the concert last night. And this has got some mainly original compositions, but very, very well-constructed album. Came out, I think it's in 1982. There is a CD release of this with some bonus tracks on it, but it's got some gorgeous bass work on, including some exceptional fretless bass work from Mo Foster. So really recommend this, and yeah, some stellar drumming from Simon Phillips, of course, as well. So that's RMS Centennial Park. And then lastly, I just mentioned this, Steve Whitty, funnily enough, I think it was this last weekend, had picked up an album by this band. It's a Dutch progressive rock band called Exception. I picked this up for £4, so on the Phillips label. This is 1973, I think it is. The main leader of the band is Rick van der Linden, who you can tell is very influenced by Keith Emerson, particularly from the Nice days. So some of it almost sounds a little bit cheesy, kind of almost pop classic type stuff. Rick van der Linden, a bit like Keith Emerson, was able to mix classical composition with sort of rock sensibility, particularly on Hammond organ. But there's also some very sophisticated string orchestration on this. There's some very good drumming as well. But Exception was basically Rick van der Linden's band. He went on to another band called Trace, which was again a keyboard-driven, sort of classically influenced band, quite well known for having Ian Mosley of Marillion on drums in the early days, 74, 75. But this is sort of a good fun album, proto-progressive rock, with a kind of very European touch to it. A little bit of a facsimile at times of things like The Nice and early ELP. But nevertheless, he's a great player. He was classically trained. There he is, Rick van der Linden. And this is well worth having. Exception 5, enjoyed it. Great album cover. That's that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.